Hi, my name is Liliana Costoyaseco and I'm going to present my final project of the subject ICOLE of the Master in Secondary Education of the University Camilo José Cela, and the theme that I've chosen for my unit is Invertebrates, which is englobed in the subject Biology. This teaching unit is designed for the first course of ESO and in 2 sessions. The aims of this unit are what we can see written in the presentation. To present the content of the unit, to introduce the main groups of invertebrates and their characteristics, to distinguish vertebrate animals from invertebrates through the use of photographs or also pictures, to recognize the role of invertebrates in the equilibrium of planet Earth, to help learners understand that learning can be achieved in a second language, in this case English, to help students make a correct search for scientific information in digital resources, and to help students to make a kind of field diary. The teaching objectives are the ones that I present here. From content, the introduction of the topic, the common characteristics of invertebrate animals, its role in the balance of the Earth, the classification of invertebrates, and the recognition of different groups in images or pictures. About cognition, provide learners of the understanding of the subject and the power to apply it in some kind of different situations, and also enable learners to distinguish the different groups of invertebrates, promote curiosity and interest in the knowledge of living beings, and provide tools for the acquisition of scientific vocabulary. About culture, identify the importance of invertebrates on the planet, become aware of the importance of respecting the environment, and understanding that they can learn no matter which language they are using. About communication, the language of learning key vocabulary, they are going to learn vocabulary about invertebrates, parts of the body of different animals, different groups of invertebrates, different habitats like grass, bushes, dry places, wet places, oceans, mountains, this kind of vocabulary. About language for learning, they're going to ask each other questions like, what do you know about? What do you want to know? Can you tell me something about? What is the characteristic that you like the most? Why? This kind of questions. About classifying, sentences like, this animal belongs to the group of, and this kind of sentences, and other about how do you spell, how does mean. These questions can be made to the classmates or also to the teacher. About language through learning, distinguish the necessary language to carry out activities, keep the language reviewed by both the teacher and the student, record, predict, and learn new words that arise from activities. The learning outcomes of this teaching unit are the ones that I present here. So, by the end of the unit, the learners, the students, will be able to distinguish the different invertebrates, know their classification and their basic morphological characteristics. Also, express oneself correctly, orally and in written, in basic scientific works, use correctly the digital resources to gather relevant information, concern about the conservation of the environment by understanding the importance of invertebrates in the balance of the planet Earth, classify information, successfully engage in visual matching between concepts and images, ask and respond to questions about their work, use linking words, and use of present tense describing animals. Now I'm going to explain the schedule and the activities designed for this lesson. In session 1, first of all, in activity of about 10 minutes, we're going to talk about what we know, what we don't know, and what we want to know or learn. So the students can explain their feelings about the theme, what they know, and this like some kind of introductory activity. After this, the students will play a game of cards, and they will be placed in groups, and each group will be given a set of cards with images of different animals, also vertebrates and invertebrates. So they have to separate them. First of all, they must separate invertebrates from vertebrates, and then with the group of invertebrates, they should classify in the different groups that appears on the cards. Here we can see a sample card with some relevant information. So we can see in the card a picture of the animal, then the common name, in this case is a sea star or a starfish, then the scientific name, the classification, in this case a sea star is a echinoderm, the habitat, the ocean in this case, and some relevant information that can make them get their attention, or some information that is very curiosity about, like this one, no? That the sea stars, but although some can grow as many as 50 arms. The common ones have five arms, but some of them can grow like 50. So this kind of information gets their attention because it's different, it's special, or this kind of things. Then after this activity, and at the end of the class, the teacher will explain the classification of invertebrates with the different groups that they have seen on the cards, and then the students they are given a text to read at home with the basic classification of the main groups of invertebrates and interesting features and basic morphological characteristics that will get their attention, and they should search in the dictionary for the words they don't know to share it in the next session. So in session 2, the first activity of about 10 minutes, we're going to share the vocabulary that was searched at home. So we put it in common for everyone. Then an activity of about 15 minutes with the text they read at home, and in groups of about 4, they must write a list with features of the invertebrates that call them more attention. And then after this, on an activity of about 15 minutes, each group asks the other group questions about their list. Questions of the type, what is the characteristic that you like most? Why? And every one of the group must ask a question to other group. And at the end of session 2, students will be asked to look for an invertebrate in the everyday world that surrounds them, take a photo, and expand information on the chosen species, providing their classification and information they consider relevant using digital resources. This information must be uploaded to a common virtual board created by the teacher with a Padlet tool, and elaborating a kind of common digital field diary. This is a screenshot of a Padlet that I've created, simulating the result of this collaborative work. So here we can see the teacher, in this case me, explains the activity, and then the students put a picture of the animal they've chosen and some kind of information, a link to a video, a link to a PDF, this kind of information, and then we can share it in the next session or just making commentaries at the end of the picture they've uploaded. So this is all. This is my final project. I hope you've liked it and it is suitable for a Clil lesson. Thank you very much for the attention and goodbye. Thank you.